Hello, dear friends, welcome to our YouTube channel, USA Football Zone, latest football highlights. A crushing 4-1 defeat, a bitter rivalry settled in the most humiliating fashion imaginable. But what if this wasn't merely a dream victory for Argentina? What if it was a masterclass in tactical superiority? Let's conduct a thought experiment. Imagine a world where Argentina without Lionel Messi adopts a fluid and innovative 4-2-3-1 formation that completely neutralizes Brazil's strengths while ruthlessly exploiting their weaknesses. In this video, we will explain in detail how this formation could work and why it might prove to be one of the most powerful tactical displays of all time. To grasp the brilliance behind such a potential victory, you must first understand the challenges facing both teams. For Argentina, the perennial question looms large: how do you replace the irreplaceable? How do you create chances, assert dominance, and defeat your fiercest rival without the charismatic presence of Lionel Messi on the pitch? For Brazil, the challenge is different. They will take the field boasting extraordinary individual talent in every position. However, their true test will lie in breaching an Argentine defense renowned for its resilience and impeccable organization, especially with the match being played on their own home soil. In this hypothetical scenario, the solution to Argentina's dilemma lies in Lionel Scaloni's tactical blueprint, one that prioritizes disciplined control over individual brilliance. On paper, it is a 4-2-3-1 formation. In practice, however, it is a fluid and breathtaking system designed to grant Argentina absolute control over the most critical area of the pitch, the midfield. From the moment the opening whistle blows, Argentina's game plan would be to establish total dominance in the midfield. They could achieve this by employing a unique and innovative strategy involving their wingers, instead of hugging the touchlines. Imagine the wingers, perhaps Rodrigo de Paul and Thiago Almada, constantly drifting infield. They will deliberately drift toward the central zone of the pitch, creating a concentration of players in the midfield, a situation to which Brazil will have no answer. This is not merely aimless wandering. It is a meticulously planned tactical pressure. By overloading the midfield, Argentina ensures that the player in possession of the ball always has at least two clear and simple passing options. This creates an acute dilemma for Brazil's midfield duo such as Joelinton and André, who are defending in a stretched 4-4-2 formation. They become isolated and outnumbered. If a Brazilian midfielder steps forward, a vast void opens up behind him. Conversely, if he holds his position, the Argentine player in possession is afforded ample time to pick out a pass. It is a tactical checkmate, but Scaloni's plan may run even deeper. Perhaps the most brilliant aspect involves utilizing players like Leandro Paredes and Rodrigo de Paul as tactical decoys. Frequently, one or both of them will drop deep, positioning themselves in close proximity to their center-backs as if poised to receive a simple pass from the back. Brazil, relying heavily on a man-marking system, sees its forwards or midfielders chasing after their direct opponents. Yet, here lies the twist. Paredes and de Paul may have absolutely no intention of receiving the ball. Their movement serves merely as bait, by dragging opposing players into areas of the pitch where they have no business being. They completely disorganize Brazil's defensive structure. This, in turn, creates vast pockets of space for players like Enzo Fernandez, Alexis Mac Allister, and Julian Alvarez to make runs and disrupt the opposition. This strategy could very easily have resulted in a goal. You will observe the entire system operating in perfect harmony. A decoy run draws an opponent out of position, the ball is delivered into the vacated space, and through rapid interplay between players, this momentary chaos is ruthlessly exploited. Argentina advances not by virtue of some magical moment, but rather through the precise execution of well-applied tactical directives. A brilliant tactical system is not solely about what you do the ball, it is equally about what you do it. And the moment Argentina loses possession, their 4-2-3-1 formation transforms into a disciplined, suffocating pressing machine. Brazil's game plan will involve building play from the back, but Argentina will deny them that opportunity. Their press will be fully coordinated and calculated, not merely a haphazard assault, but a deliberate trap for the opposition. They will swarm the ball-carrying player, utilizing their physical positioning to cut off easy passing lanes. They will stifle the flow of passes, forcing the Brazilian side to resort to long balls or commit errors in dangerous areas of the pitch. This disciplined defensive structure will exert a profound psychological impact on the opposing team. Frustration and despair will gradually take root among the Brazilian players. Whenever they gain possession, the opposition will instantly swarm around them. Any attempt to inject pace into the game will be thwarted by a wall of blue and white. Argentina's players are quick to pounce on the second ball, loose ball. Their positioning is impeccable, and their collective hunger to recover possession is palpable. This is precisely how a team like Brazil can be forced into making hasty decisions, committing fouls, and surrendering possession. The driving force behind this entire strategy, whether in possession or out of it, will be Rodrigo de Paul. He will be omnipresent across every sector of the pitch. From the very first minute of the match, they will implement a high-pressing strategy, directing players to their precise positions and asserting their dominance over a vast expanse of the field. This ceaseless movement will not only carve out new opportunities for Argentina, but more importantly, it will completely disrupt Brazil's rhythm. This relentless pressure could directly lead to a second goal. You can visualize it right now. Brazil attempts to play a pass out of their own half, only to find themselves swarmed by a crowd of Argentine players. A misplaced pass, a swift interception, and just 2 passes later, the ball is in the back of the net. This goal is born entirely out of a tactical setup, proving that a brilliant defensive structure can, in fact, be your most potent weapon. If you enjoy analyzing the beautiful game in this manner and wish to understand the tactical nuances behind the results, be sure to subscribe to the channel. We don't stop at just showing highlights. Instead, we delve into the why behind every significant match. Click the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss a single analysis. So how will Brazil attempt to counter this? The hard truth is, they won't be able to, or rather, to put it more accurately, a rigid 4-4-2 formation will prove to be a tactical straitjacket for them. The distances between their players will be excessive, creating gaping voids across the entire pitch. The midfield duo of Joe Linton and Andre will find themselves completely isolated. Argentina will have to shoulder the responsibility of covering a vast expanse of the pitch against an opponent employing a system that constantly attacks their defensive zone with 4 or more players. The repercussions of this challenge will ripple through the entire squad. Brazil's fullbacks will likely appear anxious, unable to contribute to the attack. They will be fully occupied with repelling Argentina's offensive thrusts. Consequently, whenever Brazil does regain possession, their opportunities to launch an attack will be severely curtailed. Rodrigo, who might have been deployed in the role of a free-roaming number 10, will wander the pitch like a phantom, unable to find any space to operate. Up front, a striker like Matheus Cunha will be forced to drop so deep to receive the ball that he will cease to pose any genuine threat to the Argentine defense. The statistics of such a match would tell the whole story. Imagine this scenario. Brazil manages to take only a handful of shots, all of them from outside the box, perhaps consisting of just 2 free kicks and a single long-range effort. In stark contrast, thanks to their superb tactical execution, Argentina could generate numerous high-quality scoring opportunities once they have weathered the initial pressure. Argentina may also demonstrate their capacity to adapt to the evolving situation. Scaloni's side could shift their style of play, perhaps by incorporating more long balls and diagonal switches. Crucially, however, these passes would not be the product of panicked clearances. Rather, they would serve as a deliberate means of retaining possession and stretching Brazil's disjointed defense, while patiently waiting for those defensive gaps to reopen. This tactical flexibility could deliver a decisive knockout blow. The 4th goal, perhaps scored by a substitute such as Giuliano Simeone, would serve as a prime example of this outcome. A rapid shift in playing style would catch the Brazilian defense off balance. A pacey player would exploit the resulting gap, and the fate of the match would be sealed. This would stand as the ultimate and definitive proof of Argentina's absolute tactical superiority. Therefore, in this scenario, Brazil's crushing 4-1 defeat would be no mere coincidence. It would not simply be the result of a few spectacular goals, nor just one of those days where one team proves more clinical and effective than the other. Rather, it would represent a complete and comprehensive tactical dismantling conceived and executed with absolute precision by Lionel Scaloni. It would serve as proof that superior tactics can, indeed, compensate for the absence of a superstar player. This feat would be achieved through 3 core principles. First, a stable midfield foundation anchored by two players to ensure defensive security. Second, a dominant central zone and intelligent team overload created by players drifting inward from the flanks. And third, a disciplined and relentless pressing strategy that transforms the team's defensive unit into its most potent attacking weapon. Such a victory would, in itself, send a powerful message. It would demonstrate just how critical tactical flexibility and midfield control are becoming in modern football. Argentina would not merely defeat Brazil. They would utterly dismantle them with a game plan one both brilliant and ruthless, thereby proving that, on match day, the team that arrives with the superior strategy almost always prevails. What are your thoughts on this hypothetical tactical approach? Could it prove to be a blueprint for Argentina's future? Please share your views, please. Share your feedback in the comment box below.